Good evening, students. So let's start here with the questions. Yeah, answer this first question. I guess you all are able to read the question. Yeah, think about it and answer it, guys. Yeah. Any ideas about the answer from anybody out there? Maybe that is the logic of here. Let's see. Yes, guys, try. That could be the logic, Mayank. Okay, students, I guess you all have tried and we should discuss it now. Yeah? Okay, guys, I guess you all have tried and let's just discuss it now. Now, we know the concept that we apply while discussing the number of zeros. I think you all very well understand zeros are made of 5s and 2, and we always count the larger, the higher prime number, which is 5s in the normal circumstances. Now, here you want to talk about two numbers which have a difference of 3 in them, and the difference at the number of zeros in their respective factorials is also equal to 3. We know which number could give us simultaneously 3 5s. The only number which may give us simultaneously 3 5 has to be of the form of 5 cube. Now, how many numbers less than 600 might be there? We know 5 cube is 125. Now, just try and check how many values closer to this will satisfy this. You may take x to be 125 and say y to be 122, 126, 123, 127, 124. Now, the moment you proceed further, taking it to be 128 and this to be 125, I think, friends, you all will be very clear that the number of zeros that 128 factorial will have, and 125 factorial will have will be equal. So hence, closer to any multiple of 5 cube, you will basically have 3 such pairs of numbers x and y. And we know in total the numbers which will be there will be 125, its double, its triple, its 4 times, and its 5 times, which is 625, will be larger than this, so not acceptable. So how many numbers are there which are satisfying this? There are 4 such numbers, and every number has 3 such values. So total solutions to this will become 4 3 is the 12. Nikhil, it will definitely have 4 zeros, but this is beyond our range. Dear, I think you should be clear about this, that y is less than 600. So we will not count 625. You getting it, Nikhil? Okay, guys, so the answer to the question will become 12. Any doubt to anybody out there? Okay, if I just make a small change in the question, say he says x minus y is equal to 3. Dear friends, just have a look at the question itself. If I make x minus y to be equal to 4, rest everything is same. That x is 4 more than y, what shall become the answer? Why so many of you are answering it 0? Think about it carefully. Now, how many numbers you can find so that they have a difference of 4? I take, say, x to be 125 and y to be 121. They have a difference of 4. The number of zeros difference between them happens to be 3. So 125, 126, 127 and 128. Now there will be 4 such numbers closer to every 5 cube, which will give us a difference of 3 in the number of zeros in their factorials. As we'll have 4 such groups, the answer to the question shall become 4 4s are 16. Guys, I think you all are clear about the concept out here. So it is not necessary that it has to be equal. Okay, moving on to the next question. Please read, understand this and answer it. Yes, think about it, guys. Yes, guys. Some of you have answered it to be second option. Yes, students. Should I take you all have tried and we should discuss it now? Okay, let's start the discussion. Friends, there are two approaches to answer this. First of all, talking about it technically, I think you all should have understood this figure given here is of no use. You actually are not supposed to use this at all. Now he has defined the ratio of women to men to be 1075 women for every 1000 men. So that means you only need to take into the consideration the ratio of women to men, which will become 43:40 the moment you cancel it with 25. So students, actually what you need to do is you need to take 40 men out there who have a literacy rate of 40%. You need to take 43 women out there who have a literacy rate of 24% and then just find their weighted average. So it will be 43 into 24% plus 40 into 40%. Now what is the number of literate person in this approximately? How many persons we have taken it to be? We have taken 43 plus 40, yeah, 83 persons. We can solve and get the answer to be choice number 2. Now guys, let me tell you here one more thing. See, one more thing which you could have applied is, see the number, the percentage given is 40 and 24. And their simple arithmetic mean is 32. So that simply means the average will be 32% in case the number of women and men are equal. But women are given to be more comparatively. So that means answer will be a bit more inclined towards women percentage, that is towards 24. So answer cannot be this, this or this. It has to be less than 32 and it cannot come so close, so rounded figure if you take the ratio 43:40 into the consideration, as 43 is a prime number and their sum 83 is again a prime number. So an unrounded value possible, the only possible in this case shall become second option 31.71. Right guys, because the women are just a bit more than the number of women in totality, so percentage can never shift 2% towards the women. That could also be a logic to reject 30%. Right guys, so answer will be 31.71. Should I take it you all have got this? Okay guys, moving on to the next question. Answer this question, students. Think about it. Let's see a minute. Minute, it's a 6-digit number. Arvind, let's see. Priyansh, that could be. Priyansh, just check your numbers, they could be wrong. Okay guys, I think we should discuss it now. Again, two approaches to answer this, guys. First of all, you want a number which is divisible by 7. No, which is a single digit perfect square and not equal to 1. You all know it is 8. It is divisible by a single digit perfect square greater than 9. I think that is also again very well known. It is 9. Now guys, you want a number which is divisible by 7 as well as 8 as well as by 9. Knowing they all three are co-primes, we know their LCM will be how much? It will be just their product, 504. 7 into 8 into 9. Now guys, you want a number which is 5 to 1 followed by 3 digits. So that means the number will fall within this very range of these 1000 numbers. Now there are two ways to handle this. One is you divide the smaller number by 504, find the remainder and see which number in between those two ranges gives the number which is divisible by that, which is exactly 521136. So second number will obviously be 504 more than that. It is 521640. Right guys? So answer for the question will be choice number 3. That is, there are two such numbers. Now, under time pressure, when I am attempting such a question in the paper, can I say I want two numbers with a difference of 504 in them, and the numbers have to be in between a range of two numbers with a gap of 1000. Guys, don't you feel that in extreme circumstances only you can say within the 1000 numbers will definitely have two multiples or two numbers which will be divisible by 504? The reason simply being 504 difference simply means there is around 97-98% probability that there will be two numbers, and there is hardly 2 to 3% possibilities that there will exist one such number. I think guys, you all are getting me. If the smaller of the two number is say around 521496, only then you may onwards, only 2-3 such numbers, only then you may have one solution. Otherwise there will always be two solutions within this range. Yeah, Mayank, this is what I told you. From this very range, if you take up to the number that you are saying, rather a bit more, 502, 503. Up to these 7-8 numbers only you can say there will be one such number. Otherwise, in every set there will be two such numbers. So what I am saying, Mayank, in terms of probability, there is hardly 2 to 3% chances. If you have time, you definitely found one of those numbers. But if you don't, then under the time pressure, you can definitely go for third option, which gives you two such values. I think you should be understanding and appreciating what I am emphasizing on. It's not about making a blind guess. It is more about making a logical guess under time pressure. Right, guys? Otherwise, you have understood the method also. So, shall we move on to the next question? Okay. Yeah, this wonderful question. Read and answer it. So, is the answer 10, guys? As some of you are saying. Okay, guys, shall we discuss this? Let me tell you a wonderful method to do this. Yeah, that's good, Mahendra. Guys, a simple technique that we apply in such questions, which actually make your question very, very simple, is just find the ratio of what is left to the original about something the question talks about. Now, dear friends, just understand this. The question is talking about volume of oxygen. Now, it was 64% earlier and now it is 27. So, the ratio of leftover to the original in this case becomes 27 by 54. And just understand it, this is after applying the process how many times? This is after applying the process 3 times. And guys, I think you already know when the process is done 3 times, what we do, we find the ratio, basically, we find the cube root of the ratio. So after finding the cube root, you land at 3/4. And can we conclude out there that every time the leftover part is 3 by 4? So dear, if your leftover portion is 3 by 4, how much you have withdrawn every time? Can you answer that? If you are left over with 3/4 every time, that means you have withdrawn 1/4 every time. And you have been given the original as 40 liters. So how much is 40 ka 1/4? It is 10 liters, which becomes your answer. Right, guys? In total, you are left over with 27 by 64%. Doing the process thrice. So we found the cube root of 27 by 64, which comes out to be 3 by 4. So if you are left over with 3 by 4 every time, this means you have withdrawn 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 of 40 is 10 liters. So this means you have withdrawn 10 liters at every stage. So is that alright, guys? Should I take it you all have got that? Okay, moving on to the next question. Answer this question. Answer this, guys. Yeah, think about it, students. Option 5. I don't think so, Arvind. Could be Priyansh, let's see. I guess so many of you are not clear about the concept. Shall we discuss it, students? See guys, the most important value in such questions is, I think one thing that you need to remember for now on, that whenever the hands interchange their positions, the angle between the two hands are 360 by 13 or a multiple of the same. Here multiple simply means it's twice or it's thrice. Now here, guys, first important point to answer this question as a standard procedure will be, what is the angle between the two hands at the starting of that time period, that is at 2 o'clock. I think you all very well know at 2 o'clock the angle between the two hands clockwise is 60 degrees plus. Now roughly there is a gap of how many hours when the person returns? There is a gap of roughly 2 hours. If this gap is of 1 hour, we will use 360 by 13. If this gap is of 2 hours, we will take twice of that, which is 720 by 13. Now guys, that simply means the minute hand has to gain 60 degrees and then move ahead by 72 by 13 degrees relatively. And what is the relative speed of the minute hand? I think you all shall be knowing the relative speed of the minute hand is 11 by 2 degrees. So we multiply it by 2 by 11. Which comes out to be how much? 3000 by 143. So answer is 140 by 143. That is the first option. The first thing, Ankush, I'll tell you, the first thing that we take into the consideration is that if it's a gap of 1 hour, it will be 360 by 13. If it's a gap of 2 hours or 3 hours, we'll multiply it by 2 or 3 respectively. Now guys, the reason about this 360 by 13 is very simple. See, if you want to generate that, you all know minute hand travels 6 degrees per minute and hour hand travels half a degree per minute. So ratio of their speeds is 1:12. So that simply means the time in which hour hand travels x degrees, minute hand will travel 12x degrees. Now, if you have a careful observation, you can understand here what has actually happened. See, what has actually happened is, just try and see in the red color. Minute hand has started from here moved on and has reached here. And our hand started from here and reached here. So guys, very clearly you can see because they just have interchanged their positions with a gap of 2 hours. So in total they together covered 720 degrees. Now wherein what we generate from the ratio that our hand has travelled x degrees, minute hand has travelled 12x degrees. So in total our hand has travelled 720 by 13 degrees. This is from where this 720 by 13 comes. And this 2 by 11 is just the relative speed of the minute hand. So have you all understood it? Guys, if you still find a problem in the concept, just try to memorize this. Let me give you one more example wherein you can just answer this question. See, if I simply say he goes out between 1 and 2 and returns between 3 and 4. Can you answer it? What will we do here? The only change in this case will be 30 plus 720 by 13, and all this is to be multiplied by 2 by 11. Now this pink is the answer. Now because Joy at 1 o'clock the angle between the two hands is 30 degrees. That is the only change. Now here we made 60 as 30 because at 1 o'clock the angle between the two hands in clockwise terms is 30 degrees. Rest everything will remain same. Guys, is that okay with all of you? Okay, moving on. Yes, Sanjeet, you can just remember 360 by 13 once and for all. Whenever the hands interchange their positions, it is 360 by 13 or a multiple of the same. And you can't answer this without finding this value. Ankush, 2 by 11 is just the difference. Just have a look over here. When minute hand travels 6 degrees, our hand half, the difference between the two is 11 by 2 degrees. So relative speed is 11 by 2 degrees in 1 minute, or 2 by 11 degrees, or in 11 by 2 degrees in 1 minute, or 1 degree in 2 by 11 minutes. Okay guys, so I'm moving to the next question. Answer this question. I think it might be easy for you. Zishan, you may get it right now. Mayank, that's wrong. The concept is the same as I just explained in the question earlier than the last question. So guys, here it's given the reverse. You are withdrawing 10 out of 40. Yes. So you are withdrawing 1/4 every time. So that means you are leaving behind 3/4. Because the process is done thrice, so you have left behind 27 by 64. But the question is not asking about left behind. The question is asking about the ratio of milk and water. If there is 27 milk left at the end, This means there is 37 water left at the end. So the ratio will be choice number 1. 27 is to 37. Okay, students, I think you all have taken it now. Okay, moving on. Answer this question. You have solved this kind of a question earlier. Mayank, answer it carefully. Priyansh, 5. Let's see. Okay, 17, 16, these are 17 and 16 are the options which are coming out to be. I think you all are clear about the concept out here. We know how to find the total number of factors. Now, we know 6 factors would mean either will have a prime number raised to power 5 or it will be a prime number raised to power 1 and another prime number raised to power 2. Because we know in the powers we add 1 and then we multiply. So 6 could be either 1 into 6 or 2 into 3. Now firstly, talking about this category, you can see there is only one such number, which is 2 raised to power 5. And 3 raised to power 5 will be a number which is more than 100. Now guys, taking the second level into the consideration, wherein you are multiplying two different prime numbers. Now, starting with the powers of 2, if I take 2, we are taking only power 1. Now 2 we are taking only power 1, we can multiply it with 3 raised to power 2, 5 raised to power 2 and 7 raised to power 2. All these products are less than 100 only. Then if I take 2 raised to power 2, now this you can multiply with 5, 7, 11, 13, 17, 19 and 23. Students, just have a look. So far, how many cases you have already generated? Now these are 5, 3, 8 and 3. 11 cases are here. And one case we have taken here, and they all are having 2's involved in that. Now let's take those values wherein you don't take any 2. Let's say we talk about 3's. So if I have 3 raised to power 1, this can be multiplied with 5 raised to power 2, the only value, because 7 square will make it larger. And if we have 3 raised to power 2, this we can multiply with 5 or with 7 and even with 11. So guys, with the help of 3, how many values we are generating here? So with the help of 3, we are generating 4 such values. Now we have considered the 3's, we have considered 2's. Now if I take the next prime number 5, with the help of any other prime numbers, we should not be using 2 or 3 now. We know the next number will give us minimum 5 square into 7, which is greater than this. So this means there will be no other value existing. So 11 plus 4 plus 1, there are 16 such solutions. So guys, the answer to the question will be 16. And let me repeat here, sometimes the number do become more. For some of you answered it to be 17 because you treat 2 and 3 separately. And in that case, sometimes some of the cases do get repeated. Now Ankit, because it's a numerical based question, value based question, you need to calculate it in this manner only. Right? So students, I think you all have got the answer. So we are moving on to the next question. Yeah, answer this question. Arvind, none of these. Yes, guys. Now guys, there are two approaches to answer this again, I'll say. One is, if you want to actually answer it technically, you want to think about it, guys. One thing you should be clear about, there are 11 such numbers. Now there are 11 such numbers and you straight away come with the value that you want. It has to become more by 5555. Now guys, I think a gut feeling, if you try and take, you need to take 11 values. In total, there has to be an increment of 5555. Firstly, 11 numbers, majority value will definitely come from the thousands, from the hundreds place. So if I add the 100 place 5, can you say 5 added 11 times at the 100 place will give you 500 extra? Now that means you will replace 2 by 7. And then there is 1, 2 at the tens place which will add 50. And there is 1, 2 at the units place which will add 5. I think guys, you straight away land up to the value given 5555. So that means 2 is being replaced by 7. If you want to answer it, don't want to answer it this way, then just try to have a look at the options, wherein I'll suggest one thing. Never use the smallest or the highest value given. Let's start with one of the middle values. Say I take 6. So if you take 6, that means if 2 is being replaced by 6, there is an increase of 4. And when 400 increment is taken 11 times, there is an increase of 4400, which is much smaller than 5500. Similarly, so that means it has to be more digit. And if you take 8, this means there is an increase of 600. And when you take that 11 times, it has to be more than 6600. So even that is wrong. So answer is more than 6 but less than 8. And you're talking about digits. So it can only and only be 7, which is the option, none of these. Right guys, this is how you can answer this question in two different ways. Okay, so I am moving on to the next question. Let's see guys. So answer is 10, 11, 5. Sanjeet, your answer is none of these. How many values are there? So you have already found 10, so you are saying more. Okay. Okay, let's discuss it, students. I guess you all have tried. Now students, let's forget this is mathematics. Let's talk in general. You want multiples of 9. I guess so many of you have answered it, calculated, known, remembering the squares. You want the numbers which are multiples of 9, and they should also be perfect squares. And let me come to the reverse part of it. Can I say we want the numbers which are multiples of 3 and whose squares are less than equal to 1000? Now we know the largest number whose square is less than 1000 is 31. Now how many multiples of 3 are there less than 31? We know we'll start from 3 and we'll end at 30. So guys, there has to be 10 such numbers. And we actually need not to find the perfect squares which are multiples of 9. Rather, we are focusing on the square roots which are multiples of 3. Knowing that there are total of 31 such numbers, how many multiples of 3 are less than 31? The answer comes out to be 10. And guys, nothing else needs to be done to answer this question. Second option, 10. Okay guys, moving on to the next question. Yeah, Minit, this is what happens when you try to get inside the question and try to find the values. So if you try to have a look in macro terms on the questions, normally you find it quite easy to answer it. Okay, moving on. Answer this concept based question, students. I guess you all are aware of the term digital root. Okay, for some of you who are not aware of this, guys, digital root of a number means you add the digits of a number and keep on doing so up to the time you do not obtain a single digit. You may also call it seed number. For example, the digital root of 2, 3, 4, 5 is 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5. That is 14, and again 1 plus 4, it is 5. So answer it. That's right, Sanjeet. That is a catch in the question wherein you may take the question to be very tough. Yeah, that's right. Yes. Asa, they also have a digital root less, so they are to be counted. Okay, shall we discuss it, students? Okay, now guys, one thing I think you all would have got by now, that digital root can vary only and only between 1 and 9. And let me give you a very interesting fact, that you take any 9 consecutive numbers, they will have their digital roots from 1 to 9, 1 each. Its starting could be different, but any 9 consecutive numbers will have their digital root between 1 and 9, 1 each. Now firstly, you all are clear, prime numbers between 1 and 9 are 2, 3, 5 and 7. Now, another interesting fact is, please listen to that very carefully. If I say I take the natural numbers up to 900, I am taking a number which is a multiple of 9, guys. I said 900. Now out of 900, there will be 100 numbers which will have a digital root of 1. 100 numbers will have a digital root of 2. 100 numbers will have a digital root of 3. And so on till 100 numbers have a digital root of 9. So that simply means, in order to answer the question quickly, I'll take a number which is less than 500 and a multiple of 9. A number less than 500 and a multiple of 9 is 495, students. And I divide it by 9 to say there are 55 numbers which have a digital root of 1, 2, 3, 4 till 9 each. Now as we are interested in only 4 such numbers, 2, 3, 5 and 7, so we take 55 into 4 to be equal to 220. Now after 495 which have a digital root of 9, next number will have a digital root of 1 which we don't need. Next number will have a digital root of 2, we need that. The next number will have a digital root of 3, we need that. And the next number will have a digital root of 4 and we don't need that, right? So there are 2 more such numbers, guys. So the answer happens to be 222. Mayank, it cannot be exactly 4 by 9 into 500. The reason being, we are taking prime numbers which are not necessarily at equal differences. And 500 is not a multiple of 9 at the same time. So guys, I think you all have got this. Just a small change to check your understanding. Say instead of 500, had it been 900, what would have been the answer? Excellent. Everybody is answering it right. And now a small change again. Say instead of 900 it was 300. Now answer it right and we move on. Now apply the same approach. A number multiple of 9 less than 300 is 297. Divided by 9 is 33. 33 into 4 is 132. Now guys, the next number is 298 which is a digital root of 1. Next is 299 with a digital root of 2. And very importantly, please don't answer it as 134, it is 133. Because the question says how many natural numbers less than 300. So you don't have to include 300 in the same. Yes, Soumya. So answer is not 134 but 133. And guys, let me tell you, this is the most common kind of error that you make under time pressure. Okay? Vinay, there is no need to get disappointed about the same. These are the errors. They are acceptable if we make it here before the CAT paper. Okay guys, moving on. Answer this question. So is the answer 9? That's good, Arvind. So guys, there are 9 such numbers possible. Question is to be done, but it is not a tough one. You can answer it logically. Now because you want a prime number, and the product of the digits is less than 10. That are the considerations. Now one simple thing that you can derive out of this is that both the digits can't be even, because in that case you will not be able to make any prime number. So one of the digits has to be odd at least. So starting with the smallest possible categories, we take the numbers 11, 13, 17, 19. Reverse of 11 does not exist. 13's reverse is a prime number. 17 reverse is a prime number. 19 reverse is not a prime number. But now there could be some even numbers ending with 1 and are primes, like 41, 61. 81 is not a prime number. And lastly guys, you can also be considerate about the same, that we can make 10 also as a product if we don't use 1. That is, the digits 2 and 3 can also be taken, which gives the number as 23, which is prime and satisfies the two conditions. If we reverse that, you get an even number and there is no other possibility. So there are 9 such values. Yeah, 11 is to be included. Why you should not take 11, Astha? The question nowhere specifies that they both are writing different digits. Yeah, they can very well be. It's before or after is to be written. Number can be anything. It is not that a number is to be spoken which he has not spoken. He says the number that the second person speaks is to be written either before or later. But the number could very well be same. Right, Astha and Siddharth? So there are 9 such values. Okay, moving on guys. Answer this. Yeah, Ashna, why not? You have understood about 11. See, saying 1 has spoken. If I tell you to speak any digit single, you say 1, and then I have to speak a digit, even I can say 1. What's the problem? There is no condition that I cannot speak the digit that you have spoken. Yeah. No, Ashna, just check it. There are 9 such cases. Don't count 11 2 times. The cases are 11, 13, 31, 17, 71, 19, 41, 61, 23, Ashna. You can write here the 10 numbers that you have generated. Ashna, 91 is not a prime number these days. Modi government has changed it. It has become a composite number as it has started appearing in the table of 7 and 13. Yes guys, what is the answer out here? Now this question needs systematic approach. It is not tough. It requires super oriented, clear process to answer. So shall we discuss it, students? Now see, the approach to answer this question should be in terms of places. Firstly, talking about hundreds place. Guys, I think you all are clear. These are total 70 numbers, 70. Out of that, in 69 numbers, you will have 1 appearing at the hundreds place. And once you will have 2 appearing at the hundreds place. So the sum of the digits at the hundreds place will be 71. Now coming to the tens place, the most crucial one and the one wherein most of you consume maximum time. Now guys, just understand the process that I am telling here you too. See, 131 is your starting point. Had it been 130, we can say we are taking the complete cycle for each of the digits. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. So guys, what I am saying, I will take even 130 into the consideration to solve my question quickly. Just have a look over here. Can I just have a look and say the average of these 7 consecutive numbers will be the middle digit, which is 6. This means the sum of these 7 digits will be 6 sevens are 42. And if I take all those digits 10 times, their sum will be actually 420. And now I will say in this we have added 1 3 extra. Subtracting that, the sum of the digits at tens place will be 417. And now talking about the unit digit. Guys, we know at units place we will have the first 9 consecutive numbers, that is summation 9 we can apply. Summation 9 is 45 and it will occur 7 times. Once for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 each. And the 130 number has a 0, so won't make any difference at all. And their sum happens to be how much? 315. Now guys, in total you need to add 71, 417 and 315 to say their sum happens to be 803. So the answer to the question is 803 students. Astha, I just said because 130 is not there and we hypothetically counted 130 was also there. Now we can say 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Each of the digits is appearing 10 times. Their average will be 6. 6 into 7 becomes 42 because there are 7 such numbers. And each of those, or the sum of those digits, which is 42, will occur 10 times each. Now in this 420, we have 1 3 extra, which we finally subtracted. Right guys? So answer becomes 803. Shall I take it? You have got this? Okay guys, I'll spend last 5-7 minutes to discuss last 2-3 questions quickly. Answer this question. So yes guys, the answer is Sanjeet, it is not 22, it is 16. Guys, a very common error and a very simple question. In fact, the question is not asking about A union B. For the people with 22 answers, mind that the question is asking about A union B minus A intersection B. Right guys? So it will be 10 plus 18 minus 6 minus 6. Answer will come out to be 16. Is that okay? An error which happens because you need to subtract it twice. Okay, moving on. Answer this question. So guys, it's a very simple question. A small catch in the question. The ratio of savings are given to be 16 is to 17 is to 12. And the question about the person who has the largest savings. I need not go further that in ratio terms, whosoever the highest saving will have the highest saving in absolute terms as well. So no need to do any calculations. Very simple question. And okay guys, here comes the last question for the day. Yes, a very good question. Read, understand and answer. Okay guys, it's a very simple question again, a very logical one. See, milk and water are in the ratio of 4:1 and we don't need the total at all. So if you add 7 liters of water, then how many liters of milk should be added to have the same ratio? As initially milk is 4 times of water, now also if you add milk which is 4 times the water, you will have the same ratio. And nothing else is required to be done, guys. So it is first option, 28 liters. So is that okay, students? Yeah, Sudeep, I'll just tell you, it simply was that there are a total of 70 numbers. So 69 numbers were from 131 to 199, and then there was one number which was 200. So the sum of the digits at 100 place was 71. Right guys, this was it from my side for the day. Right guys, thank you so much. God bless.